Hi everybody, I am Jennifer Zollinger. I just wanted to welcome you to our class, Mathematical Tools for the Real World. So I'm excited to be working with you and excited to be doing some math with you. Just wanted to give you a quick tour of our class to help you get started. So right now, here's our home page. No announcements yet, but expect those weekly at least, sometimes more often depending on if I have important things, but make sure you read through those because I will post helpful hints and whatever to help you get through the week as far as your assignments go. So pay attention to those. Let's go ahead and get into our content. I don't know how familiar you all are with iLearn 3. Hopefully you've seen it before, but if not, one of the first things you can look at here are some iLearn 3 tours. And so if you're not familiar with it, that's a great place to start. Otherwise, take a look at some of these other things. This is just the overview, tells you a little bit about me and about the class. And so here you can find my email address and my virtual office if you need either one of those. And so that information's there, and again, just a little bit about what the course covers. Alright, let's take a look here in our welcome folder next. We have the syllabus and course due dates and some other important things, and so mostly I'm going to let you look through these, but I do want to point out some things from the syllabus right here. So let's open that up. Really just starting with required materials, that's useful to know, so you won't need to buy a textbook for this class. We do have a new online textbook that we're using this semester, and I'll show you how to get to that in just a minute. What you do need is Microsoft Excel, and so you can get that free, and they do have some instructions for doing that if you click on the link here. So if you don't have Excel, you really will have to have Excel and not Google Sheets or OpenOffice. They say you really do have to have Excel, and so you can get that just right there. You also will want to have a scientific or a graphing calculator to use during the class. And so they have a link to this free one, ecalc.com. You do have to download that one if you don't really want to download a calculator. I recommend Desmos is a nice online one you don't have to download. You can do the graphing right there, or you can select a scientific calculator right there, and so it's just desmos.com is the address for that. And then also you'll want to have a microphone. You'll be doing some group assignments online working together, and so you'll need a microphone so that you can talk to each other and communicate in your groups. Alright, as far as what you're graded on for the class are reading quizzes, and so usually weekly you'll be assigned some reading from the textbook, and then you'll have a little quiz on that. Also those group assignments, 15% right there, and then homework is also another 15%, and homework will be done in Maple TA. I will show you a little bit more about that in just a minute. Due dates for those homework assignments, either Thursday or Saturday. So we usually weekly have those two due dates where you'll have assignments due on Thursday and then other assignments due on Saturdays. I typically do not accept any late work on these Maple TA assignments, and so you really want to make sure you pay attention to those. And so unless you have extenuating circumstances, you need to get those in on time. But the good thing is you are given unlimited attempts on these up until those due dates. And so if you don't score as high on your homework as you'd like to, these are automatically graded. You can always go and retry and keep retrying as often as you want to get the score that you want on those assignments. And so that's really great. You also have Excel case studies, and so you won't have those every week, but throughout the semester you'll have several of those. For these assignments, due dates are typically the Saturday due dates. If you miss that deadline, then you'll have 1 week to still get that in at a 50% reduction. but after that, you won't get any points for that, so watch out for those deadlines as well. Then you also have 3 exams with an optional final exam at the end of the semester. And so 1 exam per unit, we have 3 units. And then that optional final really just allows you to drop your lowest exam score. So it's really great to try and take that. It won't hurt you at all if you end up bombing the final. That's the one that will be dropped. Or if you do well, then one of your other exam scores can be dropped. And so that's really nice that way. Alright, I'll let you look through the rest of that. Let's go back in here. I'll show you a couple of other things. So, we talked about iLearn, if you need to familiarize yourself with that. Resources right here are some other great things. Installing Excel, you'll be using Zoom for your group work, so that gives you some tutorials that way. Links to tutoring, and then also once we get your groups assigned, those group assignments and those responsibilities will be in here. And so I'll post some more about groups in our weekly announcement, help you get signed up for those groups, and we'll get those set up in the first week so that you can get going on those, but those assignments will show up here. Alright, and then right here we have our link to Maple TA, and so that's the homework you'll be using. I can't go into it now. I'm in my student account in iLearn, and it's not going to let me in, and my account looks different from yours, but they do have some guides right here using that and some tutorial videos, so I recommend you check those out to help you get started. There's also in week 1, this very first homework right here gives you some instructions for how to get started and how to get going in Maple TA as well. And so that's where our homework will be. Let me know if you have any issues with that. Alright, so here's week 1 that we're in right now. It's actually a little different from normal. You'll only have 2 folders in week 1. Typically there's 3, but you'll see due date 1 and due date 2. Due date 1 is the Thursday deadline, and due date 2 is usually the Saturday deadline. So just be aware of that. And so anything in folder 1 is due by Thursday midnight, I believe. And then due date 2 is the Saturday at midnight. And just be aware those are Mountain Standard Times all the time. And so you may want to change your settings in iLearn if you need to help you keep track of those times if you're in different time zones. So this week 1 really just gets you going on things. You'll find links to the interactive textbook in every weekly folder. So let me just show you that really quick. Here's the first one. Click on that link and it takes you, here's our textbook, and it is nice and interactive with videos and different resources in there. And so I think it's going to work great for our textbook. Let's go back here. I want to show you some of the other weeks just to let you see what's coming up. And so a typical week, like I say, has 3 folders, with 2 of them usually due on the Thursday, and then the 3rd one due on the Saturday. And pretty typically it's going to have the reading, so your textbook and then reading quiz, maybe some discussions show up, helping you get started still with Excel in this one, but some other assignments in there, and then your homework. Also in this folder 3, I think a lot of times, let's see if I can find one, you'll find the case studies usually are in those folders, and you might have some other kinds of assignments in there. So hopefully that will help you get started. I know that's really a quick rundown, so please let me know if you do have any questions as we're starting out here, and I'll post some more information in that first announcement. Really excited to be working with you all.